Hello, spiritual seeker. This is Deepa Liu, and I'm the creative mystic. And I ring this bell to awaken you to your divine presence that is there within you 24/7. So today, welcome, welcome, welcome. But today we're going to talk about art and spirituality and how art can transform your spiritual journey. And you might not think that art would be in the same sentence of transformation with your spiritual journey, but yeah, it really does, because what's the biggest challenge on your spiritual journey? Okay. Yogananda used to talk about it. He used to talk about how, we're all, like these self-realized beings already, and that we just have to improve our remembrance of being that, that spiritual self-realized being. And so remembrance is one of the most important things, remembering that you're this divine being, that you're not alone, that there's this divine presence around you, outside you, inside you, all around you, and that's one of the biggest challenges that people have. So, and you might be thinking, oh, I have a really good memory, I don't forget, right? Well, that could be, you may, but I find, at least for me, if you ever read a spiritual book and you read the whole thing, you devour it and you love everything you read in it, and then you come back to it 6 months later or a year later, and you read it again and you're like, oh, there's all these things you forgot in there, that in the first reading that you really just loved, that you forgot, or that now when you're coming back a year later, you actually start to understand at a different level. But I find I'll read a book later and I'll find there's always something I forgot, because we can't like take it all in. And so on the spiritual journey, in your spiritual growth, there's this constant pull of the physical body, that we're in, telling us this is what we are, is that we're this physical being, this human body, and that, what we can't see, which is our spiritual selves, our authentic true selves, this divine presence that's within us, that is us, we forget we're that, and you might have heard some people say, I don't know if Wayne Dyer was the original person who said it, but I know that's where I heard it from. And he would talk about, I'm this spiritual being having this human experience, in other words, so he would say that to remind himself that he's not this actual physical body, he's really truly this spiritual being, this energy being, however you want to call it. But the biggest challenge on your spiritual journey is remembering that you're not this physical body, that our true selves, our divine selves, are actually our authentic true selves. And so your art helps remind you, like when you put up sacred art in your home, it reminds you, on one, the level of seeing something, like if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see all my several of my sacred art portals, my spirit guide portals behind me. So when I come in here and I look at them, not every time, but a lot of times I like, do a little, pranam. I like make an acknowledgement about the divine soul that's there, the divine being that's there. I commune with my spirit guide portals frequently to, get guidance if I'm feeling a little unclear how to move forward, or feeling like I need something to work on, that I need to heal, I'll do those things. But when you put up sacred art, when you actually bring sacred art, not just any kind of art, but sacred art into your home, it can transform your spiritual journey by, one, helping you with one of the most important things, which is remembering. Because it's one of the biggest challenges on your spiritual journey, is remembering that you're this divine soul. Okay, so that's one of the biggest ways that can transform your spiritual journey. But the other way is that everything is energy. I want you to get that. I'm going to say this over and over and over in my different episodes, because it's one of the other important things, remembering, and that everything is energy. So in your home, where you go, or in your car, or in your place of work, wherever you go and you are a lot of the day or night, okay? Um, what you have around you is it affecting your energy, because everything is energy. So everything that you have in your home or your office is either lifting you up or bringing you down. You might not be aware of it, but it is. And so by bringing in sacred art that has been prayed and blessed over and carrying this high spiritual vibration. And like with all my pieces, that's what I do. All of my spirit guide art portals, I pray over them when I'm creating them. I have certain music playing. I keep my thoughts in a good place. I'm really wanting to have this energy infused into the painting, into the portal. So anything you bring into your home is infused with the energy of how it was made and who made it, and it's either lifting you up or bringing you down. So if you bring in sacred art that's been prayed and blessed over, or like, it's been created by someone with high spiritual energy, that's going to help lift you up, or is of like a spiritual soul, like an angel or something, that can help lift you up again. And so by helping lift you up, it helps you to come from that higher place more often, because we can get caught into the world of, what we have to do and all our have tos and shoulds. And that is coming from our subconscious mind and is not necessarily making a choice from our highest truth. And when you have spiritual art, sacred art around you, it can help lift you up and remind you, like, let me come from truth, not from habit, not from my fears, but from truth. And sacred art, when in the fact that it's just reminding you and carrying a certain vibration, can help you make that choice from a higher place. See, because art also, in many traditions, not just the art I create, but like you'll see sacred art in many traditions, it also often will tell you a story, that has significant meaning, of some of the spiritual truths or of a high soul. One of the things, when you're on the spiritual path or having this spiritual journey, is to get around people that have a high vibration, because their consciousness can help you expand your consciousness. Now, you can't have a live person, in your home all the time, because they have their own lives. But sometimes, people will get images of that person, so that they can, kind of get the benefit of their high vibration, their consciousness, to help lift them up, to help them see something from a different perspective. And so sacred art is something that you can actually commune with. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't know, is you can put it on your wall. And if you don't commune with it, what usually happens is after a while, when you initially buy it, you're like, oh, and you see it and it reminds you, but after it's been on the wall for a while, what I find a lot of people do is they walk in and they forget to even notice the things that are on the wall or the things that they've put out. And they just kind of walk by, walk by, walk by, walk by. And pretty soon they just have no awareness of the energy and the blessings that the art is giving them. And so I actually actively commune with my spirit guide portals. I'll be honest, it's not necessarily always every day. Sometimes I miss a day, but I do at least try to like acknowledge their presence. I will come up and like, do a little pranam or just turn around and say thank you. Thank you for being here for me, because you know your spirit guides, divine presence is actually with you all the time. And the more we can improve our remembrance of this, of acknowledging it and being aware of it, the more you're going to carry that vibration and be able to come from that higher place in your interactions in your daily life. And so I really encourage you, if you don't have any sacred art in your home, to get some. If you like some of my images, you can, feel free to go to deepalu.com, look at some more of them. Um, I need to get it updated because I have some new ones that aren't even up there. But, or if you have some other form of sacred art that really makes you feel like you're in the divine presence. And that's the thing, is when you pick out a piece of sacred art, you want to pick something out that has some significance and meaning to you, because it's about helping you, not just, like, don't pick something out because someone else loved it. You want to pick it out because you love it and it really helps you to feel that divine presence, because this is all about, transforming your spiritual journey, not your best friend's spiritual journey or your spouse's spiritual journey, but your spiritual journey. Because when you transform your spiritual journey, you're going to find that you start to see more rapid growth. You might start to see more spiritual gifts that you become aware of. That's what happened to me. Was I started to get these spiritual gifts that I had not even known that I had them. In fact, if you had asked me years ago, like 20 years ago, if I was going to be able to have visions, I would have told you no, because I wasn't a visual person. If you'd asked me, you're going to be able to see other people's spirit guides, and paint a spirit guide portal for them, which I call personal divine presence portals, I would have said no, because, none of those spiritual gifts were at my awareness and ability to utilize them. And from me really, like bringing the art and the creativity and the spiritual tools and practices together, it just kind of caused my spiritual gifts to like awaken. I almost like to use the word explode, just because I these things happen that I just had no clue were going to come to be. And so, but it really is the day by day journey that you're wanting sacred art to help you with, again, the remembrance, the energy, and the other one is awareness, because one of the biggest things that helps a person grow spiritually and to have transformation on their spiritual path is awareness. Awareness is one of the key things to develop. It's one of the key reasons why, so many spiritual paths have a meditation practice, because meditation, if you really do it, it helps raise your level of awareness. My level of awareness from when I first started, on the spiritual journey many years ago, is at a completely different place now than it was back then. And so, you know, my art has helped me to become more aware of when I'm connected and when I'm not, when I need to be inspired, because maybe I'm not in the best of place. Because, that's one of the great things sacred art can do for you is if you're kind of having a low day, you can see the image and go, oh, let me connect with that divine presence. Let me take a moment and do a prayer, and a pranam, and just do a little thing to consciously choose, you know, that higher self of you, that higher power that's around you, whether it be angels or spirits or a specific guru like Yogananda. So I invite you, if you don't have any sacred art in your home, to go out and get a piece for you so you can start to transform the energy in your home, but also within you. All right. Remember, greatness is within you. It's time to let it out. Have a miraculous day. Blessings.